our new series and would like to invite our dear angel, Sister Wadi. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Bumi Ben. Can you see I have a different setup? That's because I'm in Peace Village. And the intention was to be here before Sister Mohini and your good self arrive so as to be with the rest of the group and welcome you. So I like this thing of benevolence and the image that was created of the spectacles, because sometimes, you know, when your spectacles fall down your nose a little bit and either you can't see or your vision is distorted. And so just aware of how necessary it is that you instantly put the glasses back up again, and to get them back up, if it requires an apology or to ask for forgiveness, then to do that. So then you can restore your sight very easily and very quickly. So, dear brother Dev, he's been on double duty, triple duty this week, as well as doing your work and everything. But you have a story for us, which...
Om Shanti, Sister Wadi. Story time.
Story time. Bedtime, story time.
Right. And you're in Peace Village, more closer. All right. So here's the story. Today it is a little different than the past two stories that we had. And this is from one of the sisters in the region. Around 30 years ago, I was living in Chile and came to Argentina to translate for Mohini Ben. We met in a retreat with the Argentinian family. She suddenly became aware that one of the main instruments was not present. So she asked the brother in charge about her. He said that that sister stayed back in Santa Fe, a city 600 kilometers away. Didi asked if going to that city is part of her itinerary, and the brother said no. Didi said, tomorrow I would like to go there to meet her. The brother was not sure how that would happen, as there was already a program planned in Buenos Aires the following day. But Didi decided to go and asked us to drive her there. Mohini Ben phoned her and told her, I'm coming to you tomorrow. The next day, we left early in the morning and arrived at midday. She, the sister there in Santa Fe, had everything ready, a full meal, a lecture at 1 p.m., and so many people attended. Didi told her she especially went to see her and meet those people, that she would have lunch and then drive back to Buenos Aires. The atmosphere was so powerful, they melted in tears. Our sister was so intoxicated, she could not believe that she could not come to the retreat and that Didi came to her. We drove back and arrived at the exact same time of the program in Buenos Aires. That taught me that I should always sacrifice to touch the lives of souls unconditionally and trust that Baba makes everything happen so easily. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. So, Sister Mohini, welcome. Om Shanti. Do you remember this story, Sister Mohini?
Yeah.
Oh, really? I was thinking that although that was something you did specially for that individual, But in a manner of speaking, all the traveling you do is with the same intention, with the same purpose. It's just that you're given a program for it, but the intention surely is the same. But why that sister? Why? I presume she wasn't able to come to you, but why did you take it upon yourself to single her out of that situation, to respond in that way?
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Actually, there were two sisters, very lovely sisters. They come to Madhuban every year and generally attend everything. But there was some reason that she couldn't come. So I know I have done some of these adventures, and at that time, body was young and it was possible to go 600 miles, quite journey. And in those country, cars are not like we have
Yes.
here, luxurious and with air condition. So still, wherever you are, you just try to get used to it, adjust yourself there. But because, I still remember even lunch they made was so nice. But sometimes it's like there shouldn't be any instruments who would feel that they couldn't meet or couldn't come. But I feel those are the places, they are very far. And one is not sure if I will go very regularly, even if I went almost every year there to Chile, to Argentina. And so when I went, I saw them, they make a very nice something from pumpkin. They remove, they steam it, remove everything. They stuff it with corn and other vegetables, and then they fill back. Some are very good things they make. And they were able to invite some people. I think it is just the feelings that, I learned a lot from Dadi Janki. She used to do that whatever we could do today, there is physical capacity, there's a lot of feelings, love, do it, When I think if I have to do it today, no, I won't be, no. So that was really the pure feelings, lot of love. They are very lovely sister. All sisters are lovely, but they are dedicated. Because what happened that before that, 1 year before, before I think, one of them has lot of contacts in local government there. So they arrange a big program in university, two very big programs. They used to arrange for radio talk, lot of service. So I just had a really feeling that I should go. And you have to believe that when there are good feelings and love, you could make it. Going and coming also. Generally, when there is big public program, which generally in Argentina, they always arrange a big program. You want 2-3 hours to fresh, rest and all that. I told them it's all right. When I sit, Baba will help me. So I think it was my pure feelings. And when they were so, in the sense of they came to Madhuban, they always was very loving. And so.
Sister Mohini, this I'm not sure if this is the appropriate question or not, but in the role that you are now playing, and of course, as you've always been our coordinator for the region, but in situations like this, do you feel a particular sense of duty or responsibility towards those who are the instruments?
Yeah, because...
Or is it just different?
No. For me, I feel every instrument of Baba is very important, very special. And everyone, is contributing to Baba's service. It's not only instruments, actually. Whole day today, I heard a situation and I thought, all good feelings that we all are brothers, sisters. Our care for each other should be real. And if anyone has any difficulty of any kind, whether it is on a spiritual journey, whether it is on the physical life or wherever. We should, some places we can do maybe in a physical way, but at least do give the feeling of belonging, love, do mansa seva. That is also important. And these are really my feelings of today, that I will look at everyone is very important for Baba. And instruments, because I feel that if they get, they can give more, right? If they get more love, feelings of belonging, so it will help them, because then they will be able to give that, right? But
Some
every Baba's child is very special.
somewhere in these conversations, I really want to get to the how your feelings work. I mean, your touchings. So that you're not just saying, oh, well, if I do this, this and this will happen, or they will benefit here and there. But in like, you must have examples where maybe like that situation, for instance, you could easily think 600 kilometers is too far, the roads are not good and everything, but that there's something more powerful than that, that doesn't come from your limited mind, but that is insisting that you do it. And I'd really like to, and you do have this facility, and we've all experienced your inspirations when it's like, why is she saying that? What? Because we're not seeing it on a physical or a practical level. And then we do what you say, and it's like, it works. And I would like to know about that mechanism. Maybe tonight's not the night, but somewhere in our conversations, I would really like to hear more about your subtle mechanism. But I have one question, and I know this evening we're a little short on time, but when there's people like you, also would have known that that sister would have been melted by your gesture. But I'm sure you've had situations too where maybe there's a difficulty for someone and you want to help, but because they're holding something, like whether a grudge or some old experience or whatever, even though you're willing to travel or whatever else, but they don't have the capacity to be melted. How do you change that? How do you either just say, well, it's not the time, or what do you do?
I think that, I feel that it must work, but as you're saying, there are certain but I think it reaches them, but they don't want to respond to it
Yes.
because they are not ready for it. But now, like at this time or since few years, it doesn't really upset me or bother me. I don't stop, in the sense of I will still do what I have to do. Today someone was saying that you try to help everyone in their every situation, what they do for you. I said, I don't need anything. No, I have, that's why I could give, I could help. Why not? So I think deeply within this becomes like, if you can be of any use, if you can share something, even in a material way, these days, if anyone indicates they want something and I immediately say they should get it. So I feel very good because everything used in unlimited way. And but that had been my sanskar since young, that I just like to do charity. Now is not charity, now is more as cooperation. But
Beautiful.
I do it really from my part because, you know, I don't know, when I think of what I got from Brahma Baba, so much care, so much care. I mean, why as a young person Baba will give that care? But I think he was installing in me, kind of instill in me, this is what care means. This is what the way you can help souls. So I learned from Brahma Baba a lot, in the sense of inheriting the sanskars from Brahma Baba, I must say. Of course, in Lokik is different. That was also very good experience, but more was from Brahma Baba. And then, of course, Dari Prakash Mani, Dari Janki. I am hearing. You can continue.
Okay, so at that time, as she said, was about 30 years ago. We know it must have been Sister Moira, that your physical presence was so important. But nowadays, it's not possible for a variety of reasons. And so do you feel that you've done, well, maybe not that you've worked, but that some capacity in you has increased so that you don't need to be there physically, but that, and do you actually feel that? Do you consciously think this soul, however, even though she may not or he may not have written to you, but you just know that they're in trouble or they need help? What do you actually do? You can't go there physically. They can't come anymore physically either. So what do you do in that situation?
It's the pure thoughts, no? Like what I basically, that soul is in the mind, and I remember Baba. And then that soul, like from Baba, that soul reaches, receives sometimes love or whatever way. But what happens that, one time Dari Janki said that Brahma Baba asked her, do you remember students? And she said, oh, why? How can I do that? And no, Baba said, you must, because then you're invoking them. But I don't invoke, but if they come in my mind, I don't know, like they just come.
Yes.
I immediately kind of send good wishes and, and if I'm able to communicate, I immediately will, write email and say how you're feeling. And I felt that's the right time. I always call. It used to happen with my Lokik family in India.
Mm-hmm.
I generally, or my Lokik sister in Mauritius, generally I don't really make calls and I receive more calls than I make. So suddenly I will call, they say, we really were in the need. We were supposed to call you to get advice on this. And it's always like, even in Mauritius, I was in South Africa. Sundari Janki said, why don't you go to Mauritius? It's just next door. So I said, okay, I will go for 2 days. And when I went, Sister Chandra was supposed to have a big surgery. So people thought I have come to visit because of surgery, but I didn't know anything. So I think that if your intellect is with Baba, you are selfless, you don't have attachment or desires, you will reach wherever you are needed, whether it's Lokik or it is spiritual. This is what I feel.
Okay, so as I say, as we go on with these conversations, I want to know more about the mechanism of that makes you so intuitive, and the touchings that you get, and how you're able to say with great confidence, you need to do this or don't do that or whatever, even though you may not have all the, and I even have some stories, we won't take them up tonight, maybe next week, of someone who had that experience with you. And so I'm curious, is there a mechanism that you can show us how we can increase our ability to be intuitive, benevolently intuitive?
Next time. But one thing, when I first time left India to come to foreign countries, and I was in New York. I was in Germany, then I was in London, but then I came to New York. So New York, is a vast city and with so many cultures, religions. And so as words start spreading, so we got an invitation. So when I was leaving, Avek Babdada, you gave me a blessing. Keep your intellect telephone like free so that Baba can call you or you can call Baba. And I remember I used it at that time, and exactly if I have to go somewhere or not, if we should be involved in this or not, it will very clear answer will come. So maybe that habit has continued or somewhere.
That's nice.
That
I like that.
and then I used to be in Guyana. And in Guyana, Gayatri's father, uncle, no, because he was minister. So they had to have one telephone line between president and minister because he has to call, but it's not phone, it's basic. So there used to be a red phone and nobody could touch it. So I said, what is this? Then they told me that it's only between president and him. So I said, oh, this is what Baba told me. So I have to
Nice.
keep my phone not very engaged, And it's good just asking is I am reminded about that.
Yeah.
So if we keep our intellect too busy, then Baba is calling to indicate to us or give help, but we're not able to receive it or respond to it. But
This,
of
yes,
course, it's
I
a very
like that.
interesting topic. I will think more and next time we share, right?
Right. I like that because what you'd been saying earlier about not speaking just for the sake of speaking or not thinking just for the sake of it. And so it's that thing of keeping the line clear. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Sister Mohini.
Yeah.
I don't know if Deb wants to weigh in, and look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Yes, thank you, Oriman. Thank you. Thank you for bringing so many beautiful things emerged.
Thank you.
Thank you. I
Deb.
think there is one line that kind of summed it everything. When the intellect is with Baba and you are selfless, then you will reach wherever you have to be.
Yeah.
Whether it is physically going there 600 kilometers or going to Mauritius without you knowing why you're going there, or even subtly sending Sakash irrespective of whether somebody is going to receive it or not. So I think that's a very beautiful thing to remember, that we are with Baba and selfless, and things will happen with good feelings. Thank you, Didi.
To be continued.
To be continued.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Thank you.